Hello.
Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm doing great because I'm here with you guys. I'm Paula Walkine from Delaware Rock and Roll Society, and today I am interviewing the band who calls themselves On the Edge. Now, on the way home from the last time we saw them, which was a few days ago, we were blown away, and it became no longer on the edge, but over the top. This band is spectacular. Anybody who is anywhere close enough to hear them performing cannot sit still. You have to get up and move. They kick it. They kick it.
Because of him. Because of him.
Because of him, because of him, because of all of you. Because of all of you. You know, that was the drummer, he keeps it lit. Yeah, he keeps it lit. And this guy is the only guy I understand who plays with his right hand. He plays the keyboard, and with his left hand, he plays the bass.
That's why we call him Lefty.
Yeah, okay. Call him Lefty. Perfect. Perfect. Well, on one of your Facebook pages, where they put the likes, you talk about people, and it's like if they have 1,000 likes, that's great. You guys have 7,446 likes.
Yes.
You're spectacular.
Thank you.
Everybody knows it. Everybody wants to be here. 1984 is the beginning of the band, and you were around then, Edgar, getting everything started. How did it
One of the
begin?
guys that are getting started. Yeah, I wasn't there from the very beginning, but I joined shortly after that.
Okay,
But
okay,
that was still a long time ago.
okay, and that was Smitty and you and
And the original drummer that actually named the band, and then there's a bass player, Danny Dennis, uh, Steve Bloodsworth on guitar,
okay,
and the guy that actually originated the band is Jim Gray. He named the band too, On the Edge.
okay, good name.
And yeah.
Yeah, good name. I like Over the Top.
And if
better.
you over the top is better.
Mhm. Yeah, that's who you guys are. There's
Right.
just no question about it. So let's see. You are the drummer, Jay.
Yes,
It's
indeed.
Jay the drummer. Did anybody else in your family play drums or play a musical instrument?
When I was younger, nobody else played drums. My father played keyboard.
Okay,
And he was the pastor of a church.
okay,
Played keyboards, but I was the only one in the family that played drums. All my siblings sang.
okay.
No, I wasn't blessed with that talent.
Gotcha. They were handling the harmony.
That's
Give
Yeah.
her a microphone.
That's right.
They were handling the harmony. Gotcha. And where did you go to high school?
McKinley Tech High School in
Uh,
Washington, D.C.
In DC. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I played in every band that you could think of in the school.
Okay. That we could think of in the school, meaning the band that
Jazz band, orchestra, marching band, concert band,
wow.
go-go band.
The go-go band?
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Did you have girls in white boots?
No, it was a different type of go-go.
Okay.
Yeah, you did have girls in
I like
white
that. I like that.
Don't let him fool you. He did.
Yeah, okay.
They dance on the
weren't
stage.
they weren't in the go-go band. though.
Yeah.
A different go-go band.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I just figured maybe. Yeah. Okay.
You were on point.
What else do you play?
Well, I play a little bit of bass, a
Okay.
little bit of keys.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it.
Okay. How did your dad feel about your being a drummer?
Oh, my father was my biggest supporter.
Oh, that's wonderful.
He turned the basement into my instrument room. I had keyboard, bass, drums, everything. All the instruments you could think of, I had it in the basement. And he would allow me to have my friends to come over and play.
Yeah.
You know, my friends would come over and play. My mom's would be upstairs cooking chicken.
Nice. Nice.
You know,
Nice.
so
They
it kept
made
me out of the
right.
streets.
yes.
Yeah.
Kept me out of the
Yes.
streets and kept me in the house playing.
Yeah. Made a place for
That's
local
good.
music
Yep.
too.
Yep.
That's really cool.
Yep.
When did you move this way?
What you mean to?
Move Yeah, locally to
Well,
Maryland.
I've been with Corner Edge since December.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Mhm.
They're lucky. They're
I'm
lucky to
lucky
have
too.
you.
We're very fortunate.
I'm,
Yes.
I'm lucky too.
Yeah, they're lucky to have you. When you start talking about how steeped you are in the musical world.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a difference. Um, Edgar, what high school did you go? Where did you go to high school?
I went to high school in the Philippines, and then I left the Philippines in '70
Okay.
and moved to Dover, Delaware. So
Hmm.
that's where I grew up, and that's where I actually
Military connection?
no,
Okay.
not just a family connection.
Okay.
So after I moved to Delaware, that's where I started playing seriously in bands.
Okay.
The guy that was inducted last year, Gene Cook,
Yes.
was my first serious
Oh man.
band in Dover. So I was lucky.
Yeah.
to get into that situation as soon as I moved here to the States.
Yeah.
We were working 3 nights a week,
All the time. Yes.
and in 1970, that's a lot for
Yes.
for a band.
Yes.
So I've been spoiled. I've been lucky to have this kind of situation since I
Since
moved
you've been
here
here.
from the Philippines. Yeah.
You know, everybody talks about luck, but there's a real attractiveness between the group of you because you are upscale. You know, you are spectacular,
Yeah.
and your standards are spectacular. You know, your discipline. You know, despite the humor that has to get injected,
Right.
but
Right.
you're
Discipline.
Boy, that's a new word for us.
no,
I don't know.
showing up on time, not disappointing. You know, where you're doing your gigs, taking care of the people who make a place for you to play music. You know, you honor them, you say the thanks, whatever, and it makes a difference. Music is necessary for all of us to stay sane.
Yep.
So
True.
So true.
you know, I think as it's a real uneven time right now in the world, and I think music's even more important.
Yep.
Totally
know.
agree. Yep.
Even more important.
Very
And
well,
I
very
think-
well said.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because we've been doing music individually for a long time,
Mm.
yeah,
and we know the formula to make it work.
yes, yes. You
So,
don't have to waste your time.
Yeah, and so when this
Sure.
version of On the Edge was put together, there was nothing said about it. We all know what to do.
Right,
We know what to
right.
what to
That's
deal with. And, there's a lot of, well, maybe that music business is very difficult.
yes, yes. Replete with surprises. Huh? Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, talked about um somewhere where I was poking around looking, probably on the computer. They talked about you traveling the coast, up and down the coast. Okay, were you guys together when you were working up and down the coast, or is
Yeah,
that
pretty much. Mike was in the band when we had a residency at the Catskill Mountains. We
nice?
were there quite a bit.
Okay,
And then we played the Poconos, Caesars at Poconos.
yeah.
Kind of like a semi-residency there too. We played all the casinos in Delaware,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and we had some big corporate stuff that we traveled to Indianapolis, Atlanta,
Yep.
Florida. We played Florida,
Nice,
and then
guys.
they flew us to Jamaica
Yeah.
for a big
Cool.
corporate gig.
Mhm.
Cool.
Yeah.
My favorite
And we did
place.
Atlantic City casinos also.
Atlantic City, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The casinos are
Yes.
the best spot because already it's already upscale,
Mhm.
and so you guys just plug in. You plug into a different environment than you do if you're going somewhere where no one plays on a regular basis.
And
That's
that's
true.
that's the one thing we've been blessed enough to be able to plug in and be successful.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's given us part of our longevity.
Oh man. So Who in your family played music?
Everybody.
How about that?
My mom was a classical pianist.
Okay.
Um, I have uncles that actually played violins.
Hmm.
Everybody in my immediate family took piano lessons except me. I was the outcast. I
Okay.
didn't want any lessons. You
It
know,
shows. It shows.
it's what song are we doing, man?
Yeah.
I was a hard-headed guy, but I'm the only one playing. Everybody else is
How about that?
done, you know.
Mhm.
How about that?
Because
Well, you're playing from your passion, not from instruction.
yeah, I play by ear. I don't read music.
Yeah.
So,
Ah.
Mm.
everything
Okay.
is, it's all by ear, and you know, if later on, you know, if you play long enough, you'll adapt to, you know, situations where you know it's
You have to wing it.
yeah, you have to wing it, but no, we communicate by numbers if we're talking music.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're a musician, you know, this is one, and you play 4 and 5 and whatever. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So that I adapted to that. So that's how we communicate
Okay.
now. You know, not by reading
Right.
our music.
Anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I know about coming in on the one. So
Right.
those
Yeah. There you
numbers
go.
make sense. Numbers make sense then.
Follow the drummer.
Follow the drummer. Yes.
I gotta know where the one is at all times.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, if the drummer isn't cutting it, the band isn't cutting it.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
you're important.
Absolutely.
Definitely important.
Say that real
So,
loud.
You're important. Definitely important, Jay. Matter of fact, you're so important. I hear that you played with Aretha Franklin.
Yes, I did.
When did that happen?
That was back in 96 going into 97.
Okay.
Yeah. It was a real good experience.
Okay.
It's an
Now,
eye-opening experience.
okay. Meaning this is how musicians act, or
Yeah.
It's one of the ways.
that's
Yeah.
one of them.
I mean, when I auditioned for the gig, I did some crazy stuff, and that made me get the gig. So when I came to rehearsal, I thought that's what they wanted.
Mm-mm.
I thought they wanted all this flashy stuff.
Nope.
And in the first rehearsal with her, she broke it down, and she stopped rehearsal and asked me,
What the
whose
heck are
name
you
is going to
doing?
be on the marquee? Not yours, but mine. When I want you to solo, you can solo. So then when we got back into playing the song, I played real timid. She stopped rehearsal again. She said, look, it's 1,000 other drummers that could have this gig. Do you want this gig or not? Play. So the
Mhm.
guys in the band, they called me Young Blood. They was like, Young Blood, just play, just stay in the pocket. Stay in the pocket.
Yeah.
And that's when I learned, okay, I learned how to play behind the artist
Gotcha.
real quick.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Oh, yeah. Gotcha. Wow. Now, how about you and celebrities? Who have you played with?
Me?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, You, the guy I'm smiling at. Yeah. you.
I've never really. I've shared stages with you know
Mhm.
big acts,
Who?
but not played for you know.
Right.
We were playing at the Catskills. Tony Orlando came in
Ah,
and sat in with us,
mhm.
and he actually came up to me. I love you, man. Because he liked the way
Nice
I
guy.
backed him up when he did a couple of songs. He didn't do his songs though. There's an unwritten rule where when somebody comes in the club, you
That's
know,
right.
especially like Tony Orlando,
Mhm.
don't do Tie a Yellow Ribbon. You
Exactly.
know?
Yeah.
Right.
Do something else, you know. And so we did like a Temptation song, whatever it was we did, I forgot.
Yeah.
And then we
Thank you, Valley.
what was that now?
Frankie Valley.
Yeah. Yeah, we just kind of shared stages with him. I never really played behind,
Gotcha.
you know, a big act.
Gotcha.
The Imperials
Oh,
were
okay.
playing there again. Actually, Smitty called him up on stage and said, "Come here and back me up."
Go, Smitty.
Yeah.
He actually approved.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the three of them just, yeah, they didn't have a choice. People were clapping. And, okay,
Right.
we'll back him up. Yeah.
Apparently, we're coming up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm.
Oh my goodness. Cool. On the way up in the car, I said, "You guys have any ideas about questions that you might want to ask these guys?" And Alex said, "Yeah, I'm always curious about what in your life connected you to music. At what point did you go, I'm going to do this for life, or this matters? You know, where did you get the soul, my phrasing, the soul connection for that?" Go ahead.
For me, it was surf music. I started
Okay.
listening to the Shadows, Ventures,
Yeah.
and after that, when the Beatles came out, then I gravitated
Sure.
to that, you know, because I say, oh, okay, this is much better for me to, you know, they're singing, not
Right.
just, you know. But it all started with surf music for me. I went crazy with you know with hearing the twangy guitar.
Yeah.
I would all take a broom and you know get my guitar.
Yeah.
And then when the Beatles, you know, got popular in '64, that did it for me.
Mm.
I you know I started learning all their songs and
Mhm.
you know that's what got me into you know looking for other people to play you know music with.
Have you up north in Delaware? There's a band called um, George, who's the
Magical
Beatles?
mystery.
Magical Mystery. Good friends of mine. They'll be saying you
Yeah.
couldn't remember our name. Magical
I
Mystery.
like to hear. I never heard the band before, but
They are.
yeah,
They're really good.
Yeah.
I see a lot of bands. They're really good,
right.
and they do Beatles stuff.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
Joe Trainer, who runs the rock orchestra up at the Grand and the Queen, they are in both places. He does a whole straight week of Beatles.
Beatles.
He
Right.
does, and they play. There's about 250 people,
Mm.
you know, but they play every song from every album.
Wow.
You know, so it's something you might like to check
Oh yeah.
to
Yeah.
to
Definitely.
to check
Right.
out.
Right.
Oh my goodness. Now, Mr. Michael, why did you start singing and playing that guitar?
They made me start singing. I had to.
They made you.
They
Okay.
made me.
Okay, big stick or, you know,
Well, you know, thing about bands and musicians, and I think all these guys agree, when somebody leaves, somebody else has to step up.
okay.
Somebody has to emerge, and just like Jared and myself, we have taken on the load and the responsibility. We're not going to fail.
Right.
There's no fail.
No.
No fail.
We're not going to fail.
We're gonna make
Right.
people smile no matter what.
Yeah.
And
That means you're dedicated.
yes, that's
Mhm.
basically what it comes down to. Somebody's, you know, and lucky enough we can get the job done. So we have merged on. We've forged on.
Fabulous. Now, how long, when did you come into the band? Because you guys are the
21 years ago.
wow.
I've been.
Wow. 21 years ago. Anybody in your family musical?
My sister played clarinet. I have another sister that played classical piano. My dad played organ, some keyboards, and he sang, and that was it.
So why did they have to coerce you to sing, or were you just being silly?
It's
No,
being silly.
Okay.
no, because
okay.
you know, before that, I backed up people. When you back up people, they tell you you don't sing.
Right.
So when you know, I always kind of love music, but you know, I didn't have I wasn't no experience, so
Mhm.
I kind of got thrown to the wolves, and you know, kind of grew on me like the shirt.
There you go. There you go. Well, that shirt's got lots of attitude, with sparkle. So I'm glad.
I wear it every day.
matches. I wear it every day.
My one and only.
So, Michael, who in your family's still playing?
Myself.
Yeah. Interesting, huh, guys? Interesting.
My sister, she still plays a little bit, but you know, you know, this was back in high school and stuff like
Gotcha.
that. When she played, and you know, she became a professional. She went to college, and music got on the back burner. You know, become a mother.
Oh, yeah. Life gets in the way. You either have to dedicate completely or you're not going to go where you want to go.
Right.
That's it. And sometimes you have to do I keep hearing that you have to do a job that's connected to music, but isn't promoting your music because sometimes the audience isn't interested in your music unless it's already been built up.
Yes.
So anyway, all right. So let's see, where was I on my notes here? Okay. What else do you play?
I play bass. I play drums and a little bit of keyboards.
A little bit of keyboards. Okay. And do you read music?
Briefly, little.
Briefly.
I'm not a trained musician. I'm basically self-taught too.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
I've had some brief training that didn't last very long.
Gotcha. Well, sometimes it's hard to go back to every good boy does fine when yeah.
Or show them FACE
You
faces.
start,
Yeah.
you start performing, and then there's no time to get up Saturday morning for your class.
Right.
Right. Right.
Very
Yeah.
true.
Okay. I don't know what that's about. Who inspired you? When you were coming up? Who did you
I
think?
tell this story many times, and I mean, I was inspired very young. You know, when all the shows were on TV, the Beatles, American
Mhm.
Bandstand. But the one thing that really sticks out to me is I didn't even know who Jimi Hendrix was.
Okay.
And I was able to go see him back in 1968.
Cool.
And I was able to sit on stage because I snuck in the show.
Right.
So it was basically meant to be.
Uh-huh.
And ever since that day, it changed my life because I was playing drums back then. And I never see a guitar player play with his teeth behind his back
Right.
and all the tricks that of the trade.
Yeah.
So once I had that experience,
That's
my world of music just
that's
opened
where
up.
you were going to go.
Because only thing I would ever listen to was soul music.
Mm-hmm.
So you start to listen to rock and roll and the electric guitar being played like that. It is just experience that's it's like I would buy the experience.
Right. Right.
I've never been right since.
And everybody's glad because they were all laughing with you.
Yeah, thank you for not playing drums. I got a job now.
Yes. Yes.
There you go.
Fabulous. Fabulous. Who was your inspiration?
Group wise, it'll be the Beatles.
Okay. It will be the
You know,
Beatles.
that's when I decided that that's what I'm gonna do as far as I want to
Okay.
be like the Beatles.
Okay.
One on.
Okay. Okay.
So,
Okay. And how about you?
My inspiration, one of my inspirations was John Bonham.
Okay.
The way he tuned his snare. He's the first person I heard that had that tight pop on his snare. And
Okay.
then growing up in DC, listening to the go-go bands, it was a
Yeah.
guy named that we called Juju.
Okay.
And that was one of the guys that really inspired me, to
Okay.
play kind of flashy and,
Right, to develop a
Yeah.
style.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Who do you like now? Is there anybody who you just heard and you're everybody?
Who can you not like? All these new musicians that are here now, they're great players, great entertainers. I mean, and with YouTube, and you can go on and watch any kind of genre of music that excites you.
He just got hip to somebody on the way up here today.
Okay.
Samantha Fish.
Yeah.
That he hadn't heard of before. So,
Okay.
A female blues singer and guitar player. And I'm like, oh yeah, she's great. So
Neat.
always learning, always getting inspired.
Right.
First
Yeah.
time I ever heard it.
And she sounds like Bonnie Raitt.
Mm-hmm.
So she's got that old soul kind of vocal, and she plays electric guitar, and she's smart.
She's fabulous.
Mm.
Yeah. Cool. Now, I've obviously had my head in the sand. I know the name, but I've never followed now to check her out. So now I will check her out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mr. Arosamina.
Oh, you
So-
got it pretty good. Rosamena.
Rosamena.
Good for you.
Okay.
Just call me Jared. That's my stage name anyway, Jared.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I love it because it has this exotic quality. It's probably Spanish.
No, it's
I
Italian.
look at
Yeah,
Italian.
it's Italian.
Okay.
You're looking,
Okay.
you're looking at somebody that's
Okay.
Italian, and I do have Spanish and even on my mother's side.
Okay. Okay.
I like how she put the mystery.
Right.
Oh man. Well, can you tell me what a wind synthesizer is?
Sure. Basically, I play saxophone. That's my main instrument that I started, playing on when I was 6 years of age. But it's basically a wind-driven synthesizer like a keyboard, but it has sax fingerings and it's for a saxophone player.
Wow.
So if you hook it up through MIDI, and hook it up to a sample machine, you can sound like pretty much like anything. So I don't play it that much with this band, but other bands I've done it in the past, and I still play it to this day when I do my solo shows. So
Pretty cool. Well, I
and
discovered.
especially in recording. So
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
a lot of session work with that, doing a whole horn section with that thing. So it's great.
Okay. Okay. Who inspired you?
Well, I mean, originally growing up, let me go back a little bit further than that, because
Okay.
I was inspired at a very, very young age, at 5 years of age. I when I was born, I had chronic asthma. That's the reason why I'm playing a saxophone now, is because I had chronic asthma, and my asthma specialist
Stretched
suggested
all that wind work.
right to strengthen my lungs, which was a very radical back in the day. Usually they would tell parents and just let your child take it easy, and just make sure that he or she can breathe properly, and they give you medications, that kind of stuff, allergy shots. But he was radical. He said, we need to strengthen your lungs. So he suggested to my family that I take up a wind instrument. Well, I was raised by my great aunt right outside of Roanoke, Virginia.
Okay.
And she used to love the Lawrence Welk show.
Oh yeah.
Lawrence Welk show.
Thank you,
And
boys.
that's right. So there was this one song. It was "String of Pearls." I'll never forget the song. Loved the sound. Loved just the sound of the whole entire big band sound. There was an old gentleman named Skeets Herbert that stood up, and he looked like he was 80, and his saxophone looked like it was as old as that.
Yeah.
And he played the most beautiful thing that I ever heard in my life. And I turned around and said, I want to play that. So my great aunt saved up money and also got some money from my grandparents in Washington, D.C. And she bought me a student model saxophone, which I still have to this day.
That's cool.
And I learned how to play myself. So I was self-taught for many, many years.
Oh, my goodness. So do you read music?
I do now. I was
Yeah.
actually, I'd started, getting a lot of notoriety when I moved up to the Washington, D.C. area in 85 after I graduated high school. So I was playing with a lot of bands, and I was getting, people saying, hey, this guy sounds a lot like David Sanborn. You may want to get him for studio work. So had a lot of studio work, but I had to turn it down because there was charts involved. So it really upset me. So I went to the person that taught me how to repair saxophones at that time, a guy named Keith Carey out of College Park, Maryland. And he actually said, I know this guy, Chris Vidala. And he said he lives in Adelphi, and he only takes very select few students, but maybe he could teach you, because I was upset. I was crying, literally upset.
Yeah.
Couldn't have been any more than 18, 19 years of age.
Heartbroken.
Heartbroken, because I had to keep turning. I'd say, let me check my schedule. I'm sorry, I'm booked. I mean, I had to make up a story,
Gotcha.
and I hated doing that. So Chris Vidala may sound familiar to you, or he may not. He was the saxophone player, and he was one of the musical directors for Chuck Mangione.
Oh, wow.
So every time you heard a tenor saxophone on any of Chuck Mangione's stuff, it was Chris Vidala.
Wow.
Well, I was lucky. He lived in Adelphi, Maryland. I would go over to his place. He took me on. I had to audition for him. He says, all right, what do you want to play? I said, give it all you got. He said, what? I said, your song, give it all, with Chuck Mangione. I said, just throw the record on, I'll play it. He says, my solo? I said, I know it note for note. So I went ahead and I played it.
Impressive.
And he was shocked. And he said, okay, anything else? I said, yeah, Feels So Good album version. So he put it on, so I played that. And he says, okay, what else? I said, let me do a David Sanborn. And I played Straight to the Heart, which is one of my favorite songs that David Sanborn did. And he says, okay, I'll teach you. So I was over at his place every Tuesday for 1 hour, $40 a session.
Okay.
And I never missed a session in 2.5 years. Even if I was feeling bad or sick, I was there.
Hmm.
And he taught me how to read music to where I got to a college level. So I still read music to this day.
Super.
Yeah.
Super. Bum, 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 bum. Yes, absolutely. That's amazing. So who have you played with?
Oh gosh. I think between Mike and I, we pretty much hit the whole gamut of everybody.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, Mary Wells, Frida Payne, Stevie Wonder, Freddie Jackson, Angela Bofield, Debbie Gibson, Robbie Dupree, Diodato. I mean, there's a ton of people that I've toured with. And then when I started getting into smooth jazz, I toured with Peter White for almost 11 years. During that time, I made my own albums, so I have 5 albums out.
Yes.
Say, don't forget,
Smooth jazz.
don't
Yeah.
forget the solo career.
Yeah, I had my did my solo career, did a lot of touring all over the world, and then did a lot with Mike. Mike and I have been on so many cruise ships performing, either together or in different situations. It's insane. I mean, the number of people that we played with, we've been very, very fortunate and
Very
grateful, very grateful.
Did you guys come to the band at the same time?
I brought him
He brought me into the band.
Okay.
It was like
because it's my
Yeah.
freaking fact.
he taught me everything I know. But honestly, I've been a fan of Mike's ever since I first saw him when I first moved up to Washington D.C. in 1985. I immediately joined a band called Chain Reaction, and the drummer of that band said, "You've got to hear this band Classified. They are phenomenal." I'm like, "Okay," but I said, "I'm underage," and he says, "I'll get you in. Don't worry, I'll get you in."
Right.
And I think it was at Rascals that
Baltimore.
up in Baltimore, the first time that I ever walked in. This guy was up front, a little bit thinner than he is now, but that's okay.
Just
Spelt in a suit coat. I mean, he was right up front, and I mean, he looked good, and he was singing Poison. And he did that song, and I'm like, I'm sitting there, and the whole band sounds just like the album, only better. And then it was towards the end of the set, and then all of a sudden, at the end of the set, all 4 guys came out, and they did the Huey Lewis and the version rendition of "It's All Right," and they sang a cappella, and I was floored. Immediately, I became a fan. A fan.
wow.
So that was the band I always wanted to
But
play
then
and
they say,
join.
we first time, and he sat in with us.
Yes,
with our band.
I wanted to be in that
Mhm.
band
And
so
we
bad.
knew this guy. There was something special about this.
Yes.
Thank you.
So him and I, we have been friends, and we've been,
Playing in
playing in
situations.
situations together
Yeah.
with other people, and it's automatic when him and I get together.
Yeah.
So I knew when we were looking for another person, I knew he was.
It had to be him.
It was right.
I was shocked. He called me up. I had come to a crossroads. I just, left Peter White's band, and I was kind of disgruntled with music for a little while, to be honest with you. And, I played the game, the business, and everything for so long. And, I was hunkered down at home in Silver Spring, and he calls me up one day and says, "Hey, listen, Smitty might be retiring soon. He's going to take some time off. You know the man I play with on the Edge?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course I do." And he said, "Well, we need a sub." And I said, "Well, I don't do what Smitty does." He says, "No, no, no. We need you because you do a very wide, diverse type of stuff.
Yeah.
You'll fit in perfectly. Don't worry." I said, "Well, I tell you what, can I come up a couple of nights early and just hang with you and just watch the band?" He says, "Yeah." So I came up a couple of nights early, and then I played in the band, and everybody seemed to like me. And then
Except
Edgar,
me, I didn't like it.
yeah, except for him, he didn't care. He didn't care. He was just smiling in ear to ear every time I turned
blown
around.
away.
No,
Blown away.
Edgar
They got to see what
What you were talking about.
Edgar was very gracious. He called me up, after the end of the summer, and he said, "Smitty's going to miss a few more shows, and blah, blah." I said, "Can you do it?" I said, "Absolutely. I'd love to be a part of it." I wanted
Yes.
to be in the band.
Yes.
And then Edgar finally says, "Listen, when it's time for Smitty to retire, do you want to be in the band?" I said, "Yes." I mean,
Mhm.
I don't even think he got the sentence out before I said
Right.
yes.
Right.
And it's been a great three plus years. And I told the guys, I said, Jay and I are the newcomers in this band.
Right.
Still to this day, these guys have earned, the accolades of the Delaware Rock and Roll Society and being inducted into the Delaware Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm along for the ride. And I just feel very fortunate and very grateful, to be a part of this band and be a part of this.
And actually, him and Jay played in a jazz band together.
Oh
also.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
wow.
Jay backed me up on my first album, and he looked a little bit different. So when he
Yeah.
he sat in this last year, I didn't
He was
recognize him
thinner too back then.
because
Yeah,
it had
that
been,
was it.
And less hair.
He was good at that.
it had been like 20 years. Mike was doing another show, so we had another singer, and our drummer was I think he had left the band at that time or was subbing out at that point. And so when we got Jay, Jay showed up. We were playing Bones Lounge, Harrington Casino.
I showed up.
Yeah,
late.
yeah.
I showed up late.
He showed up late, and but he's when he immediately started
Chemistry
playing,
was right.
Chemistry. Edgar looked at me and said, "I like this." I said, "Yeah, I did too." And I told Edgar, I said, "His playing is so familiar to me."
And
And
he didn't know he was coming.
I realized
And he
that.
didn't know when you started playing that it was him.
I didn't know either because when I got there and I saw him, I was like, "Oh, that's Jared from
Yeah, Marcus
the Marcus
Johnson.
Johnson
Yeah.
concert."
Okay.
And then I got real comfortable. Then I was like, "Okay, well this is
Oh,
gonna be
this chick.
something."
So he came.
Yeah.
He says, "Jared, you don't recognize me, do you?" I said, "I recognize you're playing." He says, "Jay, Marcus Johnson." I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" And it was like just the flood of memories that came
Yep.
back. And I said, "I recognize you're playing." I told Edgar, I said, "This is so familiar to me."
I love that line.
Oh.
I recognize your playing.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, that's what any musician hopes to have as a signature sound.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
what every musician hopes to and strives for.
Hmm.
Mike has a signature sound. Edgar has a signature sound. Jay definitely has a signature sound, and I try to have a signature sound.
He does have.
Oh,
So
you have a
it's
signature sound.
it's one of those things, and if we get it together and it's synergetic and it blends, then it's wonderful.
It's
Spectacular.
It's magic
Like I
when it
said,
comes together.
it's spectacular.
It's just
Yeah.
like everybody in this band has had even though when we come together, the chemistry is there.
Yeah.
Always.
You know,
Yeah.
individually you have your own magic, but when we all put it like you say, when we all come
Yeah.
together, the chemistry is just like
Amazing.
Yeah.
like a great meal. Like you go out to
That's
eat
right.
food.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, an unforgettable meal,
Yeah.
Michael.
Yeah.
An unforgettable meal
Thank you.
with you guys.
One that you don't want to stop eating.
Right. Exactly. Right.
Exactly.
I hope we don't.
I hope we don't stop
I hope we
eating.
don't stop eating. Put some more spice on it.
Right. Exactly.
Oh my goodness. But I have to tell you, okay, I don't think you recognize as individuals how each of you stand alone as a class act. I mean, really stand alone as a class act.
Thank you so much.
If
Thank you.
you get if you, and I'm not a religious person, but if you ascend to some level and you walk up to the counter or you walk up to the table and you think, okay, they're going to ask me some questions here, they're going to look at you and go, oh, just get on. Just get on the boat. Go on. Go on. Because
Thank you so much.
because like I said, spectacular is the word. It's the way to go. So what do you want to do with the band from here on? What's your
Don't
next
tell her. Ed.
thinking?
Don't tell her.
No,
Don't tell her. Don't tell her. Ed. Don't tell her.
We're retiring in 3 weeks
Right.
after we get our medal. Now, just very recently, we have a slew of offers for gigs. Maybe it's because we're being inducted, or maybe not.
Hmm.
But I've turned down a lot of job offers
Okay.
for gigs. So I don't know how to handle that. I guess we just move on. There are venues that weren't too happy because I couldn't
Because you couldn't be there.
I couldn't accommodate their offer. So we just keep pushing. I guess is the best scenario for us at this time.
I think
He'll
that's
be
one,
here for another 40 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think one of the good things about Edgar now is he's beginning to tell people, listen, you need to book us well in advance. And they say, oh, like a couple of months? No, like a couple of years.
years.
Right.
Mhm.
And that's what it's taking, because I mean, thanks to Edgar and the guys in the band, we're booked so much next year
Yeah.
already.
We're booked so much that we're booked for 3 New Years.
Yeah.
This New Year, next New Year,
And
and 2027.
Yeah.
Crazy. That's wonderful.
So
But I get it. I've heard you guys play.
It's never happened before.
No.
I understand.
Never, not like this.
Not like that.
I was telling the guys in the band, I said, I've had a pretty extensive career, and I mean, I've promoted my albums, I've toured with a lot of people,
Hmm.
but with this band, joining this band,
Yep.
this is the busiest I've ever been in my career.
Wow.
And I'm
Yep.
flabbergasted, but I'm
Wow.
also very, very joyful
Yep.
about it too. It's
Yeah.
wonderful being
That's
this band.
fabulous because life outside of music or performing, sometimes you have to choose one or the other, or or one doesn't make any sense
Well, the
with
music
the
chooses
other.
us. We have no
And
other choice.
exactly,
That's
exactly.
exactly
Yeah,
what
and that's where you are. It's it has to go like
Yeah,
that.
when we come together, we all have individual taste in music.
Yes.
If
Mhm.
we had our drummers, we'd be playing different kinds of stuff. He
Oh,
would be
absolutely.
playing cool jazz. He would be playing. But when we come together, it's a business. We know how to put it together.
Absolutely
Right.
right.
And
Right.
we use this formula,
Mhm.
and then that's where we are now.
Yeah,
We turn down gigs because we
Yeah.
can't accommodate.
that's right.
And
Because you
all
can't
these
be two
gigs that come in,
places
they're
at once.
calls and
Right.
Mhm.
it used to be where I'd start worrying. I used to have hair.
He's happy all the time.
He's happy.
I used to have hair.
He's happy all the time now.
But the hair is growing
The
back.
hair's
Yeah,
growing back.
the hair is growing back.
Because he doesn't have to worry anymore.
Right.
I have a full head of hair by next year.
There you go.
I'll be there.
Oh my goodness. There you go. Oh wow.
But in all sincerity, we are very blessed to have get into this position.
Yeah, of
And
course.
to be able to
Yep.
have people receive us and love us and feel the joy of
Yeah.
the music that we perform for them.
Yeah.
For so many years, especially with Edgar and Mike, they have gone out there. They played every place, phenomenal places and dives too. I mean, I'm not going to.
Oh, yeah.
mince words.
Yeah.
I mean, they.
And
they have
sometimes
done
there's
it.
a
They've done-
dive that is a phenomenal place.
Exactly.
Right,
They
exactly.
have done.
Right.
They
Yeah.
have given their life for King and Country when it comes to this band, and so I feel great, obviously being a part of this and being inducted to the Delaware Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But these guys have truly earned it.
I give it
Truly.
my kidney's
Truly.
gone.
Oh
No,
man. Oh man.
Ed actually he's the one who gave the kidney. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What's the 6x4 family?
654.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
You got it on that one.
Somewhere in Facebook or whatever.
Oh, that's the venue we're playing for New Year's this year.
Oh my goodness. I thought
Oh.
maybe it was your fan base.
No.
You know.
It's the
Well, they'll be
Yeah.
there.
yeah,
Yes, they will.
It's the Moose 654 family. That's
Right.
what it is.
Okay.
They've been wanting to get us for years,
Mhm.
so
Finally.
we finally were able to make a deal with them,
Mhm.
and
That's
they
amazing.
said, yeah, we'd love to have you.
Yeah.
So that's where we're playing New Year's this year.
Okay.
And they just put they started selling tickets yesterday,
Mhm.
and they're like half. So
Oh yeah.
which
I
is
get
really
it.
good.
I get it.
I would say they might be sold out real soon. So
Yeah.
if this video comes out in time for people
Get
to see
your
it, get
tickets.
your tickets now.
Yeah.
Don't wait. They're gonna
No.
be gone.
No, don't wait. Well, you can wait, but it's a 4-year wait.
Exactly.
So
at least
hurry up.
three. At least three.
Yeah, hurry up.
And that's the most sought after gigs, as
Yes.
far as I know from when I started playing. I've never had a New Year's Eve off, even when COVID hit.
Mhm.
Right.
We actually some
Absolutely.
Elks Club
Yep.
said, well, it's COVID, but we'll have to play 6 to 10. I said, we'll take it.
Absolutely.
During COVID year, and everybody was wearing a mask, and
Hmm.
so I've never had, On the Edge has never had a New Year's Eve off.
Yeah, I've never had.
I've only
Wow.
had one, and I was introduced many, many years ago to the Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve. I
Yeah.
didn't even know what that was
I'll be
until it
darned.
was on TV, and somebody says, "Yeah." I'm saying, "Well, I'm off," so I take a look at him like, and I just wanted to play, but I've only had one off in my career too.
Wow. You gave me an answer. For the others of you, what was the point? Was there a time when you went, I need to do this? I want to play music
Every day.
Yeah.
every day.
Every day.
Well, I wanted to play music, but I knew I wanted to play music professionally after I heard David Sanborn. when I heard David Sanborn, I mean, I followed different sax players and different types of music when I was growing up. And when I heard David Sanborn play, I'm like, this is the sound I've been hearing in my head. This is what I want to do. I love the music he was playing. I'm like, yes, this is it. And he is the one who truly inspired me, along with my high school band director, who was a phenomenal sax player. He
How neat.
humbled me. And so I was just talking to him the other day. His name is Mike Chesson. I got to tell you, but hearing those guys play, I knew that's it. That was it for me.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this, for me, being able to play has been more of a blessing than anything, because it enriches your life so much.
Yeah.
And all the people that you come in contact with, you know, the people that you meet, you know, the people that just, you know, they come to see you, they support the band all the time. It's just been incredible. And that's,
There's a difference with you guys than with some bands. There are bands that, I see a lot of bands, okay? And some of them are really, really great bands, but they don't make a heart connection with their audience. You do.
Yeah.
All four of
That's
you make a heart
Well, if it
connection.
wasn't for them.
You with that grin never stops, you know, up there. But that's it, you know, you make that heart connection.
Well, without them, there wouldn't be an us.
That's
what
right.
I think of
let
us,
me
right?
tell you,
It's all about them.
I couldn't tell you how it happened.
Okay,
That's what gets me every day. What you know?
How did
it's
I
like
get here?
If you have a gift, sometimes you don't know what your gift is.
right, right.
Just like, you know, he worked at his since 6 years old. I was involved in sports coming through high school and all that stuff. Music was playing.
How about that?
And here I am, much later on, still making music and, you know, raised a family. You know, sometimes, you know, music has to be on the back burner as you know, go through life, and the next
Right.
thing you know,
Life happens, yeah.
you know,
It's in,
you're able to do it again. And I'm blessed to meet this guy.
oh yeah,
You know, we just got together by chance. I happened to walk into the club and they were looking for a guitar player, and I said, hey, I'm your guy, because I was just leaving my band, and I meet
I don't think that was by chance. I think that was supposed to be.
Oh, absolutely.
He came in, I think we're playing a casino, and then he sat in and said, oh, here's $50, can you get me in the band? I said, oh, sure. He's in the band.
And he never gave the $50 back.
Of course not.
He's charging me every day.
I love
He
it.
pays me, I don't pay him.
That's right.
You guys are wonderful. Everybody should see this band, because after
Thank you so
we've
much.
been with you, we go home with a sense of delight, a sense of excitement, and it doesn't go away. Thank you for what you do.
Well, thank you for what you're doing for us. I mean, thank you for what you're doing for us. Thank you.
You're
Love you
welcome.
guys.
Thank you so much.
Love you
We
guys too.
appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
OTE, baby.
Over the top. Over the top.
OTT.
Over the top. Yep.